Mr. Nunn is recognized for 5 minutes.
Well, thank you, Chairman Steele, for convening this very exciting and important discussion on where we're going. This is something that is going to change the landscape of the country, not just in the next years to come, but in the months ahead. As a member of both the Financial Services Committee and the Ag Committee, we have dual jurisdiction here, one that we've talked about before between both the commodities and the securities place. However, after this past election, I believe we've turned a page here, and I can't emphasize how different the atmosphere in D.C. feels, particularly when it comes to our transitioning back from an SEC chair who claimed jurisdiction over every single token out there, except for maybe Bitcoin, and a launching of a crypto task force this past year. Together, I believe that we're going to have the opportunity to really cement the future of America being a destination for crypto and digital assets moving forward, something for the last 4 years we've remained highly rudderless. First and foremost, American leadership. I believe with this new administration, we can anticipate a wave of innovation, particularly in blockchain products. This comes after losing 2% of market share per year in blockchain development, and this has been over the course of the last half decade. So I want to qualify this for everyone who's paying attention. That's a market share drop from 40% to 29%. The U.S. losing out as a global leader in a space where just years before we had pioneered, and now we're seeing immediate competition coming out of Beijing. But I believe strongly that it's not too late, Mr. Chairman. We have the opportunity to reverse course with this congressional session. So with that, Mr. Yahim, first off, thank you for fighting back against the SEC's regulatory overreach consistently over the past 4 years. I want to talk to you about how do you see the new SEC and CFTC addressing previous conflicts regarding, confusion on where this jurisdiction would lie. Do you see this as a reset opportunity, first and foremost?
Thank you for the question, Congressman. Absolutely, we see this as a reset moment. And again, I think the urgency is very clear if we look around the rest of the world and see what other jurisdictions have done to provide regulatory clarity. Our company was sued on our staking service. We settled. We testified before Congress. The next day, the SEC called and said they were going to sue us again.
That's right.
This has been the past 3 years of our story. While we've engaged other governments and regulators in moving through the legislative regulatory process and providing clear rules of the road. So I think with respect to your question on cooperation, these things are not mutually exclusive. I know there's been discussion of let's wait, let's move stable coins first, let's wait on market structure. We cannot wait any further. And Congress doesn't need to move a market structure bill that solves every single problem in the ecosystem. We are talking about the most basic foundational rules of regulating centralized exchanges. These two agencies can continue to work in tandem while Congress advances the bill in this cycle.
Could not agree more. And clearly we're not waiting in London or in Singapore or in the UAE to move forward on this. We've seen some take it in the wrong direction, I would say the EU, but they've moved out. The United States should not be sitting on its hands as this is developed. I'd like to talk on the national security side here. You're going to be talking to a number of national security professionals here, but over the past few years, we have ceded technological leadership to China, creating a significant risk to our national security and economy, particularly in this area. And that's why in the last Congress, I took lead on the Financial Technology Protection Act, which creates a new working group specifically targeting illicit finance in this area. Stop Americans from Scammers Act, which empowers law enforcement to address and tackle things regarding blockchain tools, and the Clarity Act, which keeps blockchain made here in America, not cede that power out. So I look forward to working with this team as being a leader in this Congress on making sure that these things are enshrined in law, building on EOs that are already moving out. I'd like to talk to you, Mr. Kim, about not only your efforts in pushing this, but how can Congress ensure that we balance our innovation as well as our national security to combat these bad actors while not squelching new technology?
Thank you so much for your question, Congressman. As I mentioned earlier today, countering illicit finance and national security are key priorities, including for CCI and their members. I would encourage additional public-private partnerships. I know at CCI we would love for additional opportunities to engage with all of you and be a resource on any policy issue, including national security. And in order to ensure U.S. leadership innovation, we need to, again, establish comprehensive frameworks for both market structure and stablecoins, but also ensure national security, to your point, Congressman.
We have a real opportunity here, Mr. Chairman, to make sure this is not only made in America, but that the best practices that drive the resourcing, the security, and the onshore investment can happen right here in main streets from Iowa all the way to New York City. With that, thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Appreciate it and looking forward to stablecoin